welcome back for another episode of Sip with Joy. Happy Monday. Hope you guys had a good weekend. And if this is your first time joining, this is Sip with Joy, a show about a girl, her wine, and her feelings. And I am that girl. I am your host, Joy M. Hutton, serial entrepreneur and lover of food and wine. And you know what it is if you are not just joining for the first time. I got my wine, and today I'm drinking a Sauvignon Blanc. This is from New Zealand. So you know where you can find out about this on my Instagram page at Sip with Joy. I'll talk about this on the sip of the day. This is really good summer wine. I love Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand because they're more citrusy. So, I'll tell you about this later. All right. Hey, Robin, look at you making it. All right. Thank you for joining. All right. So, we have a special guest today. Let me take my sip. Today's episode is called Fix Your Life. Because I feel like our guest today is out here saving lives, fixing lives with the work that she's doing. Talk to Tash is a celebrity intuitive life strategist. She uses her gift of intuition to guide her clients in reshaping their mindsets, transforming their behaviors, and crafting the life that they've always dreamed of. So I'm excited to have Tash here with us today. So I'm going to bring her on. Hey, Tash.
Hi, Joy. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. Okay, so first I got to ask you what you're sipping on.
I am sipping on some peach champagne.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Yes, little champagne for the evening, little peach, like a little
Yes.
flavors.
Well,
So I'll
cheers.
sip on that.
Yes.
Cheers. Yes. Mm. I
Mm-hmm.
needed this, girl.
Yes. That sounds like a
Needed
good
it.
summer wine too. Peach
It is
champagne. I love it. All
so good.
right. So you are very clear and firm about not being called a psychic. You are like, I am not a tarot reader. I'm an intuitive, and you put God first, and she really does, y'all. Like she starts sessions with a prayer, which
Yes.
is why I was drawn to you. So tell us more about the work that you do.
So I'm a celebrity intuitive life strategist. I have a God-given gift where I have the ability to look at you, speak with you over the phone, or simple as look at a photo and literally know everything about your life, ranging from the past, present, as well as the possibility of your future. I say possibility because everybody has their own will, right? You
Mm-hmm.
have the will to do what you want to do. So I don't predict anyone's future, which is why I do not identify myself as a psychic. I say prophetic intuitive strategist
Mm-hmm.
because I use my God given abilities to help you strategize your life and give you clarity and keep you on the right path.
Yes. Okay, good. So that kind of tells us why this differs from other practices that are out there. So, okay, good.
Yes.
So, when did you discover that you had this gift?
Yeah. My family realized as young as 6 years old
Really?
that at 6 years old that I had
Yeah.
this gift. It was very interesting. I told my mom something about her friend that she had no idea about in terms of her having heart conditions at
Yeah.
6 years old. I was like 6, 7. And my mom
Wow.
was like, "How did you know that? How did you know that?" And I says,
Yeah.
"Oh, I know everything about everyone." And she was like, "What do you mean?" And I says, "Oh, my teacher, the bus driver, blah, blah." And she's like, "Wait, what?" And so, just because of, some family things growing up, she just didn't know if maybe I had trauma. So she
Yeah.
took me to a therapist to see a therapist, and I ended up reading the therapist. And the therapist
What?
was like, had to explain to my mom, like, whoa, okay, this
Yeah.
is something else.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. We just never really talked about it in the household. I used to sleepwalk. I would sleep run. I would
Mm.
do weird things and I watched television. It was interesting, but it was because of me having this gift at such a young age and not knowing what to do with it.
Wow. So when did you decide that you wanted to help people in mass?
So I worked in corporate for many years. I was an executive in corporate America, ranging from chief of development and partnerships, chief of
Mm-hmm.
staff, development and recruiting industry. And I found myself using my gift even at work. So when
Wow.
I worked in the recruiting industry and people were coming for job interviews, I would end up sliding their resumes to the side and reading their life. I'm like, forget this interview. This is what's going on with you.
Yeah.
This is what's happening in your life. This is what's going on. And like I would walk to the Starbucks, going into my office in the city and read the barista, like just
Mm-hmm.
talking to people and reading them constantly. And I knew that I was doing myself a disservice as well
Yeah.
as people who I get to serve by staying behind the desk 8 hours a day. And so I took a leap
Mm.
of faith and said, I did it part time. I worked 9 to 5 and conducted sessions from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard
Wow.
Time. And so I did that for years. And I was like, how about I make myself fully available so I can reach more people and make a larger impact? So I took a
Mm-hmm.
leap of faith with no brand, just me and my gift. And Brandon, my team lead, who's been with me for 12 years. God bless him.
Wow.
Yes. And I just was like, I think it's time for me to do this full time. And we took it and we built and it just grew.
Wow, that's amazing. So,
Yeah,
how do
thank
you
you.
handle people who are apprehensive about what you do, like those who have doubts, those who question the legitimacy of it?
Mhm. Mhm. Well, I always tell people you have to experience me to get it,
Yeah.
right? And that's why I'm on social media and I conduct my Instagram lives and I have the testimonials because I want people to understand the difference. I am not a psychic. I'm not a tarot card reader. I can't predict your life. I can
Mm-hmm.
guide your life and use my intuitive ability to strategize your life, but I
Right.
can't guide your life or predict it. So I think I'm an experience. And I think if people get to speak to me and understand that I'm relatable just like you, I
Yeah.
just have the ability to know a little bit more that lies on the surface, and I'm here to support you.
Right.
That's what makes it comfortable for people to speak to me. And again, they have to experience it. So for those people who don't believe in it, that's fine. I would rather them be ready to speak to me because I'm talking about real things in your life that's
Mm-hmm.
serious, and you have to be ready and prepared to talk to me.
Absolutely. And, I can attest to Tash. She is
Yeah.
definitely an experience. And so I remember I had a friend tell me about you, and I was like, I don't know. And so I was like, I don't know. But when you said we're opening this session up with prayer, I was like, you had me at prayer. Cause I'm like,
Oh
listen,
yes,
God first for me. Cause I'm like, what is this? And you
absolutely.
and you're a straight shooter, you know, and that's what I appreciate about you. And so yeah, so definitely an experience. And before we close out, guys, if you want to call and ask Tasha a question, I will open the line for you to call and you can ask her one question about you or your life.
Yes.
So definitely stay on to the end so you can have the opportunity to talk to Tosh because you definitely don't want to miss it. Okay. So what are some examples of the work that you do with your clients?
I mean, it ranges. It could cover anything, right? Because we never know what's going to come up in their sessions. But I
Right.
will tell you, you can be supported from anything ranging from love, health, wealth, career, finances, friendships, relationships in general, and just direction in life, right? We go through so much as people, including myself, that sometimes we need guidance and confirmation and clarity to move forward to the next steps. And I give people clarity and confirmation to live the life that they truly want and they truly desire. So that's
Mm-hmm.
that's how I guide my clients the most. And I'm from New York. I'm from Queens, New
Yeah.
York. So I'm certainly the home girl, the relatable, human who's just like you that has a gift that is truly, genuinely wanting to support you with living your best life.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, straight shooter. She from New York, y'all. um,
Yes.
so what brings you the most joy in this work?
Oh, my testimonials, right? When I know that I've changed someone's life, when I know I've saved someone's life, when I know that people are going in the right direction as a result of my guidance is
Mm-hmm.
the most rewarding thing to me. It's absolutely what keeps me going every single day. I speak to an average of 70 to 100 clients per week, which you can
Ooh,
imagine is extremely exhausting.
that's a lot.
It's very exhausting for my energy oftentimes, but when people come to me and they're like, Tosh, I got the new job. Hey, my mother had cancer and she had no idea, but because you made me go to the doctor, they caught it on
Mm-hmm.
time, right? So I
Yeah.
know that there's a purpose inside of my gift. There's a reason. So no matter how tired I am or how exhausted I am, I
Mm-hmm.
understand that my gift is more of a mission than anything.
Right. So speaking of like how many clients you see in a week and how exhausting it can be, how do you set boundaries?
Well, I have a very detailed calendar. I want to say that, right? If it's
Yeah.
not on my calendar, I absolutely will not do it. I will not budge.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Brandon, my team lead, who keeps me balanced 1,000,000%. He
Yeah.
understands my limits even when I don't. So if I'm overexhausted or if I'm too tired, if I'm doing too much, he will take the lead and shut it down, which I totally appreciate. I
Mm-hmm.
take naps every day between the hours
Yes.
of 3 to 4.
Yes to
It's on my
naps.
calendar. I have to. I mean, I literally have to. I'm on the phone usually from like 8 a.m. until 7, 8 p.m. Monday through
Mm.
Friday. That is my schedule. So I have to take a break in between to be rejuvenated for the rest of my day.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time with family and friends. You know, my personal time is very important to me. That's what gives me balance. Family's
Mhm.
number one to me. My friendships are number one to me. And I ensure that I do that on a regular basis to give myself balance and fulfill myself with the things that make me happy.
Right. I love that. So, speaking of friends and family, how has your gifts impacted your personal relationships and daily life decisions?
So I can't read myself, Joy. I don't know if you've known that, but I
Mm-hmm.
cannot read myself. The gift is
Yeah.
not for me, it's only for others. So I
Mm.
go through the same things that you guys go through,
Yeah.
right? And as women, we have intuition that we don't trust, right?
That's not fair.
Especially when it comes
You need to be
right. Story of our lives. We can
right.
zip to that. You
Right.
know, it's with relationships. I'm
Mm-hmm.
recently divorced, right? And there were things that I was able to see early on that I ignored because I didn't want to use my gift in my personal life. I'm like,
Mm.
no, this is great, this is fine. With my career, certain jobs that I knew wasn't good for me, I moved forward with that. So I gotta stay focused on the
Yeah.
things that I want. I have to be clear of my own intention and not think about other people more than I think about myself. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that's how it has affected my life. I've questioned my own intuition with
Mm.
people. My gift doesn't shut off. It's on
Yeah.
7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So if
Right.
I'm meeting somebody and I'm dating someone, I can see like they're really not great, but then I also see the potential
Yeah.
because I can see way further than the average, right? But the
Mm-hmm.
person has to want to reach the potential.
Yeah.
And that's even with my clients. I can't make anyone do anything. I can see the success, I can see the potential. But if you don't want to do it, then you don't want to do it. So
Right.
I've always seen someone's potential, and that's put me in harm's way because I've trusted the potential as opposed to what the reality was.
Yeah, well, they say you can't marry potential, right?
Mm.
So what about friends? Like, how do you tell them, like, listen, not today. Please don't ask me any questions.
So my friends, they don't do that actually.
Well, that's
Sometimes my
good. They
friends forget that I have a
respect.
gift.
Yeah, they
Yeah, like
respect it.
they respect it, but they know that I'm also very random.
Yeah.
So if something's coming up and we're sitting at the table, I'm like, girl, you went on a date yesterday?
Yeah.
You dating this guy? He works for the city, and they didn't tell me anything. But they know that I have a gift. So if I feel the
Right.
need to tell them something that is important, I will bring it up. They know that, and they
Mm-hmm.
respect my boundaries. They understand that
Yeah.
my time with them is my personal time, and they
Mm-hmm.
understand that I'm drained from doing it every day, all day. So they don't
Yes.
ever ask me any intuitive questions, my family or my friends,
That's
because
good.
they understand that my time is my time.
Good. Shout out to your friends for respecting your
Yes,
boundaries. I love that.
yes, yes.
What are some of the biggest challenges that you faced in this work?
Mhm. It's tiring.
Yeah.
It takes a lot from me because outside of my gift, I genuinely care. And there
Yeah.
was some things that I see in people that I don't like, that I feel helpless in. And I'm
Mm.
like, I can't do anything. I can see that this person is sick. I can see that this person's going to lose their job. I can see that they're in an abusive marriage, or,
Mm-hmm.
their mother's going to pass away, right? And I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And that for me sucks because I'm human. I'm not superwoman.
Right.
I can only do but so much. And there were things that I just wish that I had control over, but that's of course only up to God. I'm just a vessel.
Yeah.
So I give them the message and I try to support them as much as I can around the matter, positive or negative.
Yeah. Do you tell people if they're toxic? Like if you recognize someone is toxic or just not a good person, do you
I mean,
bring light to that?
Joy, what you said it yourself, I'm a straight
Right.
shooter.
Yeah.
I'm from New York. I mean, I'll be honest. I've gotten on calls, and some people's energy was absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
And they came on FaceTime with me, and their energy was horrific. And I
Mm.
would say to them, "This is not a good time,
Mm.
and you are not ready to talk to me
Yeah.
because I'm filled with joy,
Yeah.
and I'm filled with good energy, and I'm using my good energy to support you, and I cannot support you under these circumstances. So I
Mm-hmm.
will have Brandon email you to reschedule you
Yeah.
to a time that I think they should ready, but you're not. I refuse to speak to anyone who I don't think is ready. So
Yeah.
I will reschedule someone if I feel it, because this is a serious serious session.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you've experienced it. This is not regular surface stuff. This is, I dive deep into your life, right? So you may hear things that you're not ready to make a move on. And if you're not, when you are,
Yeah.
we'll talk.
Yeah. No, I love that. Can you share a testimonial of someone who had a major breakthrough because of your help?
Oh my God, there's so many. I
Well,
have
it could
so
be more
many.
than one.
Yeah, so I'll give you two. I had a woman who was, I had to tell her in her session that she was going to be homeless.
Mm,
I said, "You're about to hit serious financial hardship and you are going to be homeless with your kids." And
wow.
she's like, "What?"
Wow.
And I said, "Yes." And she was like, "What?" And I said, "Yes. But when it happens, here's what you're to do: take your things, pack up, move to Pennsylvania." She said, "I don't have any money to move to Pennsylvania. I have nothing." I said, "Okay, come on my live. We'll share your story." And I was able to put up her cash app. And I think
Mm,
we raised like $4,000 for her.
wow.
And I said, hold on to that. And when the time comes, you're going to need that money to move. And it
Mm,
happened.
mm,
She lost everything. And she had that money. She packed up her car with nothing but that and moved. And she would have never made that move if it weren't for me telling her to make the move. And she literally made the move off of faith in our session. And
mm.
it's changed her life because now she's the homeowner. Her kids are great. She got her business back.
Yeah.
She was completely stagnant in PA. She was living in PA and ended up having to move to the DMV area with nothing and made the move, and it completely changed her life. Had she had stayed where she was, she just would have kept drowning and drowning and drowning. So I'm happy that she listened.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And another incident was there was someone who was sick. I was speaking to his wife, his now wife, and in her session, I said, "Hey, your fiance has heart failure." And I
Mm,
said, "And I see heart attack. You need to call him right now. Something's coming up to me right now. Now, if I tell you in the middle of your session that you have to call someone else, that's serious."
yeah.
So she called him and he told her, he goes, "That's crazy because I'm actually having chest pain right now." So she said, I said, "Tell him to go to the hospital right now. He's having a
Wow.
heart attack right now. Get to the hospital right now." He goes to his car. His car would not start.
What?
His car, she gave the testimony to my Instagram. His car would not
Ugh.
start. She says his car won't start. I said, "Make him get in an Uber. He has to get to the hospital right now." He gets in the Uber. He gets to the hospital. They're running all these tests on him. They said he was fine. It probably was anxiety. So she said, they said he's fine. I said, "He's not." And I said, "There's going to be another doctor that's going to come in and understand that it's not. And she's going to make him stay overnight to do more testing." She said,
Mm,
"Okay." They're telling him we can let him go home. She called me back 30 minutes later and said a doctor came in and they're not too happy with what they're seeing. They're going to keep him overnight.
wow.
And so I know that I saved his life.
Mm. Woo, goosebumps.
Yeah. And we're friends. I'm
Goosebumps.
friends with them to this day. I was at their wedding.
Ah,
I went to their wedding in Maryland. We're
yeah.
friends to this day. Her name is Chef Kim, and
Mm-hmm.
Chef Henry. They're the most amazing couple. And we're family now because of that. You know,
Yeah.
it's forever keeps us bonded. I love them like my own family, and that is what keeps me going. And they're
Yeah.
such good people, you know. And it was my honor to be able to help them with that, you
Yeah.
know. And they weren't even married at the time. So
Wow.
I'm just very, and they had a beautiful wedding. So that is one of the things that I'm like, wow, you know?
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, you have an opportunity to call and ask Tosh a question. So the number, wait a minute, where's the number? 713-396. What's 0277? I'm like, the number is on the screen, Joy. Read it. 713-396-0277. Someone be brave. Call. Ask Tasha a question. Mommy, you can call. If nobody else call, my mama, you call. Yes. But if nobody else, 713-396-0277. Come on, y'all, be brave. Get that question answered. You listen, Tosh charges for her sessions, okay? So this is an
Mhm.
opportunity to get one question answered for free. Don't be scared. You ain't gotta say your name.
Yes, yes,
They be
yes.
like, no, I'm not calling. I'm just watching. I want to see who else calls. Mommy, call in. 713-396-0277. Hey, mommy. Hey, LC. I know some other folks on here. Y'all being shy. 713-396-0277. See, I don't want to ask a question because then y'all gonna think we staged it. So I need y'all to call. I need y'all to call and ask a question. They be like, they talked about this already.
Right, right, exactly.
Okay, we have a caller. We have a caller. Hello.
Hello, it's your mommy. You know I'll call.
Yes, my number one fan. Thank you, mommy, for calling. Can you hear Tosh?
I can't hear your mom.
You can't hear her? Hold on. Let me see. Okay, mom, you talking?
I am talking.
Can you hear her now, Tosh?
No, I can't hear her.
What? What's happening? Okay. See, this is what happens when I try to test this thing out and then it wants to act a fool. Okay. Can the audience hear mom? 'Cause then I'll have to ask the question. You'll have to ask the question. Why can't we hear her? Okay. All right.
I have
Okay.
you on
They said
speakerphone,
they
so
said
I
they
don't
can
know.
hear her on in the audience, so but you can't hear her, Tosh. So I'm not sure why you can't hear her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
What's
so
your
I'll
question?
ask the question. So I have a business, and I want to know, is it going to flourish?
Okay, she says she has a business and she wants to know if it's going to flourish.
Yes, I do see it flourishing, but I am getting that there's some support that's needed there. Your mom is a go-getter. She, she does what she needs to do, but there's something around her asking for support. So I feel like she needs to kind of lean more into that as opposed to trying to do majority of everything by herself. She's bright, she's smart, she's a powerhouse, and I see that she's a go-getter, always has been. But this is a time and a season for her to be okay with asking and receiving support, and that is what's going to support her with the business flourishing the most.
You hear that, mommy?
Yes, I did.
Ask for help.
Okay.
And she's not good at doing that. She
I
does try to
know,
do
but that's
everything
going to
Thank
herself.
help her.
you.
I know,
Yeah.
but that's going
Thanks.
to help her.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, mommy. Okay. All right. Yeah, she's not good at asking for help. I don't know why you can't hear her on your end. See, I told you technology be acting a fool.
Yes, I know.
But the audience was able to hear the question. So yes, so thank you for that.
You're
Anybody else want
welcome.
to call in? 713-396-0277. While you guys are thinking about if you want to call in, I am going to ask what's next for you or how can we support you?
Thank you, Joy. So, this month, I'm so grateful and honored to say that I will be receiving an honorary doctorate, in Atlanta,
Nice.
Georgia, on Sunday, August 25th, and a
Okay.
Lifetime Presidential Achievement Award, from
That's
President Joe
awesome.
Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. Very honored. So that's a huge ceremony that's happening. So after that day, I will officially be Dr. Talk to Tosh. So that's such a huge honor. I recently taped for a huge reality show. I can't say what it is, but I
Mm.
taped for a big reality show on Bravo. And that episode will be coming out in May. I am
Yay.
working on some speaking engagements that I have coming up, in South Carolina on September 28th. Another one, the I Am Woman Conference in Atlanta on September 22nd. Those things are on my Instagram, my platform, where you can
Okay.
come see me live and in action, reading and speaking to the folks. So there's a few things in the pipeline, a really big project that I can't talk about yet, but it is pertaining to
Yeah.
television.
That's so good.
Thank you. Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you so much,
I
Joy.
love it. When the steps are divinely ordered, it's amazing.
It
We
is
have
so
to
amazing.
lean into it because, we be fighting ourselves.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so talktotosh.com, on IG, talk to Tosh 922. Okay, so you guys follow Tosh, get your life. You may not want to get your life today, but that's okay. Y'all being shy, you can do it in her, do it by booking a session or following her on Instagram. So okay,
Yes.
now we're gonna do a rapid fire. And my mom is so funny. Now we're gonna do a rapid fire, and okay, you just choose one or the other. Okay,
Okay.
so meditation or nap,
Nap.
mocktail or cocktail.
Cocktail. On that note,
Yeah, right, exactly. Beach or something adventurous.
something adventurous.
Okay, solo vacay or girls trip.
Girls trip.
All right, dancing or singing.
Dancing.
I love it. Call or text.
Call.
Yeah. TV series or movies.
Movies.
Okay. Girlfriends or living single.
Living single.
Okay. Okay. Candles or incense.
Candles. I'm a candle girl.
Yes, and I already know the last one, but I had to do it. Brooklyn or Queens.
Queens all day. I'm from Queens, Jamaica, Queens all
Yes.
day.
I already knew. I was like, I gotta do it. Stir the pot a little bit.
Yes. I mean, I was born in Brooklyn, but
Okay.
raised in Queens. So I
Ah,
was a
okay.
hard one, but I've been to Queens my whole life. So Queens.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, you all can find Tasha on Instagram, and don't you have a Patreon too?
I do.
Okay,
That
so talk
Patreon is
about
called
that.
Tash. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm on once a week on Patreon, where I conduct live readings, and it's a more private, intimate community that I love.
Yeah.
Where with Instagram Live, it's great when I do my lives, but once you come on a platform, all of your followers and all of your people can see what's going on. So it's
Right.
better to have your private, intimate live reading, just to get a little taste on Patreon.
Yeah. Okay. So you all can
And
find her on Patreon as well.
yes, and as a platinum Patreon member, you get $50 off your deep dive session. So every time you book a deep dive session, if you're a platinum Patreon member, then you get $50 off every time you book a deep dive. So that's the
Okay.
perk.
All
Yeah.
right. I love it. And if you all book a session with Taj, make sure you say you learned about it on Sip with Joy, so that she knows. But this has been great, Taj. This has been really
Yes,
great.
great.
And I know with this word sometimes people are just apprehensive, right? But they have, like you said earlier, they have to experience it to really
Mhm.
know what it is,
Yeah.
and I think for me, I talk about my love for God. I am still a Jesus freak, okay? Still a Jesus
Mhm.
freak, but I think, you know, going through certain things, you need additional guidance. You need additional messages. It's just like receiving a word at church. The pastor is a messenger. So like you say, you're a messenger, you're a vessel, and so I think that can come in many different forms, whether it's therapy, whether it's a number of different ways that you can receive messages. So I love the
Mhm.
work that you're doing, making an
Thank you,
impact on
Joy.
thousands of lives. I need you
Thank
to
you.
get more sleep and
I am, and these
okay.
projects that I'm working on will free up my time
Yeah.
a ton, or not. But I think it would give me more balance. I'm working on that now, but
Yes.
it has to all make sense.
Right. I
Yeah.
know. I know you
I'm
want to
always
help
thinking
it. I
about you
know you want
guys.
to help everybody, but
I do. I'm always, always, always. I mean,
yeah.
when I am off, I sometimes I will give myself a week off, for vacation, hang out with my family, travel.
Yeah.
And I'm like in Barbados sitting on the beach, like somebody probably needs me right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Like if I was doing a session, I
Yeah.
could be saving somebody's life. Like that's me constantly, constantly.
Yeah.
My family, my friends are like, girl, you can't save the world, right?
Right.
But honestly, if I could, I would.
I know. We got to take
I would.
time for ourselves too. So that's me helping you because I know you
Thank
help
you.
everybody else. But we got to take time for ourselves because 70 to 100 in 1 week, that's a lot.
It is.
That's a
But it's
lot.
worth it. When I get my testimonials,
Yes.
I'm like, if I didn't speak to this person, God knows, right? And that's not for me to take on, but I do understand the responsibility that God gave me to have this gift. And I take it very seriously. I don't take it lightly. So
Mm-hmm.
I take my mission seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know you do. I know you
Yeah.
do. And grateful for you, grateful for the work
Yeah.
that you're doing. And you
Yeah.
all, if you are not following Tosh, make sure you do that. and get your life, fix your life with
Yes.
Tash. And thank you so much for joining. Thanks for tuning
Thank
in,
you.
everyone. And I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, Joy.
Bye.
Thank you again for having me.
Yes, thank you. All right, everybody. Bye.